Hello, my name is Steve Adolf, and welcome to the what, why, how, who, and when of Safe PI planning. So, what exactly is PI planning? Well, before we answer that question, maybe we want to answer the question, well, what is a PI? Well, the simplest answer I can give you is that a PI is simply just another planning time box. In fact, in SAFE, if you look at the big picture, it's these time boxes here that go on, and just like sprints that you would have normally in Scrum, where we're delivering by iteratively planning in a sprint, we're delivering value to the organization by iteratively planning within these large time boxes called PIs. What the PI gives us, though, over the sprint is it provides an opportunity for a little bit of medium range planning, or that adaptive planning we had talked about in previous sections. So the official definition, if you like, from the Scaled Agile framework is that the SAFE program increment is the largest plan, do, check, adjust, so a PDCA learning cycle in SAFE, which is effectively saying it's a big time box. It's the biggest time box in SAFE. And as a time box, there's a plan at the beginning or prior to the program increment. There's planning, just like we would have in sprint planning. And at the end, there's a demo and a retro, which is usually referred to as innovation and improvement. So we have this big time box, the program increment, and within that time box, we are planning out multiple sprints. So typically, if you follow the Scaled Agile recommendations, you'll have 1, 2, 3, 4 sprints, plus possibly what's called an innovation and planning sprint. So 5 sprints, roughly 10 weeks if you're assuming a 2-week sprint. So if you look at this, it sounds like, okay, there's 8 weeks among 4 sprints for sprint 1, 2, 3, and 4. And then there's this funny thing, the IP sprint at the end. Scaled Agile does provide a calendar for what the 2 weeks of that innovation and planning sprint should look like. The first week is the sort of the buffer for leftover work. In some organizations, for example, they're not able to do full regression testing every sprint. So this could be regression testing catching up with the rest of the development. It's also an opportunity to do research and development. A common complaint that a lot of developers have in the Agile world is they just don't get the time to innovate. So rather than sort of sneaking it into the sprint, or the PI, what we can actually do is really set aside time and saying, this is the week we have to look at better solutions to the problems we know that's coming up ahead on our roadmap. So this is the opportunity for finishing off the remaining work, doing the final integration testing, and innovating. The following week is effectively preparing for PI planning. So what you can see is sort of the SAI recommendation is the planning for the subsequent PI is actually done in the last week of the previous PI. So that effectively is what a program increment is. It's just a big time box. We plan it out as a collection of sprints, with generally the last sprint as being this innovation and planning sprint.